you would see these giant tour buses. But because I involved myself with them, I knew those weren't tourists. Those buses contained volunteers who came down to help, who didn't know what the next step was. They just came. I was always asked to tell the story of our Katrina story, and I tell people I cried the first time. I cried less the second time. I cried less the third time, and I've told that story thousands of times, so that was my healing process. Not being leery about being able to talk about it, but then just facing up to the simple fact of the matter that life had to go on. And so we embraced that part of it.
I lost everything. My house had 8 feet of water. We were in the 7th ward. I have no pictures from McDonald 35.
I don't think it'll recover. Too many empty lots in there, all that. Trees have grown. A lot of people didn't come back.
Once Katrina hit, it like wiped away everything that you did as a youth, like the traditions of what my, Abramson was, the tradition of like what the East was, and like just the atmosphere of what New Orleans East and Abramson was about. And it's still to this day, like it's kind of mind-boggling because like I still don't have no baby pictures that I can see. You know what I'm saying? Because it got wiped away in Katrina. So I lived in New Orleans East, which where Abramson is located at. It was real terrible. Like I never saw nothing like that in my life. Like it's just very deserted. It just like had like mud sticking all over like the walls and a smell that you never would have imagined in your life.
Kind of crazy to believe all that happened, like where I'm standing, and like even to this day, looking around the city, thinking like looking at all the damage, because it still hasn't been fully rebuilt.
I feel like it impacted my family a lot because now we're more like aware of things. Like we moved. I don't live in New Orleans no more. I live in Slidell, but like sometimes I fear of coming to New Orleans sometimes because if something like that would happen.
Katrina literally and figuratively washed away the New Orleans school system as we knew it because one, the state decided to intervene with the Recovery School District and take control over the majority of the schools. Two, the schools that Orleans Parish could operate, they did. They just had to slow move it and slow roll it in a way to do that. And then three, and very tragically, the Orleans Parish School Board had to then lay off their workforce. In 2005, only 1 out of 2 children were graduating on time, so really around 50%. Today we have an on-time graduation rate of about 85%. The number of failing schools in New Orleans was about 68% in 2005. Today we have 0 failing schools.
I've never been anywhere else in this country or the world where I've seen people fight so hard for something they love. There was one point where the city was empty. It was a ghost town. Some parts of it still are, but you drive through the city today, it's bustling. You see remnants of Katrina, even 20 years later.